Battle control initialized.
From shared responsibility to wonky economy, the map, to electric boogaloo. This is beyond destruction, and it's a very wonky map because it's got those gem mines in the middle, but they're gated off, so they don't produce that many gems to begin with. They don't produce that much income, but if you take them, they give you a massive income spike for like 2 minutes before they deplete. So it gives you this massive spike and then it leaves you high and dry. Leaves your economy in the gutter. So interesting design there. And this is a less gated mine, so it just grows a bit faster, but still not as fast as one might expect. What's the rally point here? That's right, straight into the middle. So he's probably trying to drive a wedge into this again. And interestingly enough, the advanced power plants have been a point of contention in this. Like, I've seen so many games played on this map where the central conflict in the first minutes was just about this advanced power plant. But let's see. Ganon is moving in with his forces here. And Orb is just trying to secure his Derrick. But, oh my goodness, can you do it again? He is gonna find the engineer once more, the madman. Oh my goodness. What a play. Didn't even lose a single rifle soldier there. Fantastic. And thus the entire camp of Orb has been rendered pointless. Because ZxGanon went for the middle and he also had his rifles covering the attack vector basically. So that's a nice 200 power in the early game. Not too bad, not too shabby. But he can't win this engagement now. There is so many forces from Orb. Yeah, he needs to condense his forces himself. Oh, and still some camping here. This is gonna be an eye for an eye, an engineer for an engineer, as it is prophesied in the Nod Bible. Signed by Cain himself, at least in the retcon version. But Ganon, yeah, really smart movements from him there. I don't think... Yeah, no, he's not gonna try and contest this Derrick any longer. He needs to wait for his vehicle there. And I think both went for double ref, otherwise you could not afford this. Wow! A little infantry flank onto a power plant, but this is never gonna do much. I don't think it's gonna kick him into low power. No. Orb is like, he's got 2 power plants. This is completely pointless. This is good against... Laurie has done this against me actually. This is good against a 1 power plant war factory build, because your opponent doesn't have time or money to invest into going for a second power plant then. But it's not good versus a double ref build, because double ref builds come with a free double power plant. They include a double power plant after the war factory. So yeah, there's that. And war factory ramps up slower. Oh, the engineer, it's so close to death. Oh, it's not going prone anymore. It is escape death, like a little brush with death here. Holy crap, that's so important. But still, Ganon is gonna take his Derrick back there. Probably. Unless the APC has something to say about it. Good night, engineer. That was nice knowing you. Oof. Orb just barely retaining his engineer. That's a big, big deal. Because Ganon now either has to invest another 500, or he can't contest any Derricks anymore. So he basically needs to invest time and forces into blowing it up then. He also has no infantry on the field at the present time. So this is going to be a good timing for a push. And Orb is going to find the timing window just again. He's again just going to find a vulnerable window where... Nah, it's now 3 rocket soldiers, too much. Oof. Barely not killing the rocket soldier there. No smushing and squishing. This would be the time for a hospital. It's now or never. Oh my, the engineer as well. He's gonna get it too. He's gonna get the Derrick probably. Wow! Oh my goodness! Yeah, what? Excuse me? You gotta be kidding me. This APC, hero of the people, redeeming his brother from game 1. Like the APC of cowardice, and now we've got the heroic APC. Oh my goodness. The APC of courage. Give him a Medal of Courage stat. This was amazing. A bit lucky, but... And also, what the hell? Yep, that's some... I sense some salt here in the comments. So... Salt fair. Bring on the salt mines. Orb has busted out the salt miner there. Both of these players, it's like one of those things that I personally don't take it seriously, but people can become really competitive over games sometimes, and there are those people, like Gatekeeper was also one of those cases where if he started losing, he started shit-talking the game or the opponent, but if he won, he would just gloat, and then he would just be like in a talkative mood and then chat forever. It was pretty hilarious, but it was very predictable at times. It's like, yeah, he won the game, he's gonna chat a lot. And apparently, Orb and Ganon are both highly competitive as well, so I wouldn't take it too seriously. Little smack talk here and there. It's never harmed anyone. But this game is stabilizing, even though Ganon has got the middle. So he's mined out the gems though. He's gotten everything he wanted from that. The miner can now go die. Oh, again, Flamers incorporated. Wow, this time around, the APC. The APC of legends. No, not like this. Oh, friendly fire from the rocket soldiers killed the hero. It's like, oh my goodness, it's like Yuri Gagarin landing on red square and then promptly being executed by like an NKVD guy who's become overzealous. Oh my goodness, B. Oh my, that was sad. That was a hero's tale with no happy end there. Yeah, it's like being the hero of the people and then being imprisoned in Gulag for parking fines. Ah, that sucks. Ganon has transferred 3 harvesters onto this gem patch. Let me tell you, that's slightly optimistic. I give it 30 seconds before this gem patch is harvested out. They don't yield that much. Alright, the tank flank here didn't work, but it's okay. Warp has deployed his Conyard, so he's gotten at least 1 expansion out. But you can see, like, Ganon has narrowed him down, he's pinned him down in his main base, and he has seen this army. Double War Factory again. Even before a refinery there. Double War Factory, which clues Ganon in as to that there's not going to be many forces in the main base. So Ganon can go absolutely buck wild, and this time the Flamers are paying big dividends. All the area of effect damage against infantry and against structures to boot. Yeah, fantastic engagement so far. He's killing the refineries again, even if he loses this army. And keep in mind that's a really expensive high-tech army. Nice micro. The Flamers are primed on the War Factory, but I think it's not gonna... in the end, it's not gonna matter. So. I mean, seriously, he's done some damage to the War Factory. It's like on half health. But Orb ultimately holding the line. But look at how much he's lost. He's lost so much ground. Yep. And that's the gem patch mined out. Ganon? Well, he's floating 10k. And he called me the float master. Truth be told though, that's just completely normal. When you don't have radar tech yet, you can't even spend as much money as you earn. That's why you need a third build queue in the form of the radar dome. Or in the form of airfields. By the way, matchup, yes, it's a Russia mirror. I think we said all that there's to say about that. Iron Curtain, Shakis, Tesla tanks. Tesla tanks especially, the latter being the bane of any player who doesn't have access to Tesla coils. The only thing that can counter them reliably are Tesla coils. Oh, he scouted the radar dome. Even though Orb is this far behind, he's gotten a radar dome. It's a bit of a big investment, especially when you're this far behind on assets. So Ganon is immediately going for the main base again. Unfortunately, this time not incorporating Flamers. Instead, it's just a single Technician. Ah, Technician is gonna pull the potatoes out of the fire, as we say. Yeah, go ham! Distract everyone. Technicians are so good at distracting flame towers sometimes, by the way. It's really hilarious. Oh my goodness. Big push onto the main base, but I think Ganon is gonna keep going here. Yeah, it's easily gonna dislodge this Conyard. Ha! Walls had been deployed there, alright. Don't tell me he's getting away with it again. No, no, the rifle soldier. Just in time. Just in the nick of time. Ganon still has an airfield and the V2s. Oh, nice V2 hits. He's gonna lose his tech here. Tier 1.5 at least. He lost a Conyard, but so far it's not been that bad. Ganon hasn't lost as much as he could have. Maybe the War Factory, that should be a big deal. That would be a big snipe. Yeah, he has finally killed his base. And all those harvesters are idle, so technically he's on 3 harvesters now. My goodness. Ganon has ruffled Orb's feathers in this game so far. There's another Conyard as well. So he's just not taking any chances. Denying him the comeback by building a second Conyard there. And this might be a counter snipe on the War Factory. Oh, the hit though. Brutal hit with the V2. Really punishing, but in the end, it doesn't really matter. Because he killed the War Factory. There's a second War Factory, not that bad. Oh, that MCV should have been produced down bottom side, sorry. That MCV, Orb definitely didn't want it to be produced here. He wanted it to be produced there, and he wanted to reclaim his ore patches. Oh, it's rough. His eco's in shambles. He's got 1 Derrick to his name, and Ganon's got the entire middle. Off of 1 Conyard, though. And he's lost his harvesters there, so both are in a really weird spot now. 5 mining harvesters here. 1 mining harvester here because, well, 2. So 1 refiner and 2 harvesters is good enough to get all those gems that spawn. And Ganon has finally gotten the north side expansion, so he should be fine, and in just a little bit his eco is gonna kick in and overtake Orbs by a large margin. He has also gotten a big army, even though he has no armor. It doesn't matter because Orb has just deployed this Conyard like a minute ago. He doesn't have the assets yet, or the funding. Yeah, UN funding got denied for Orb. There is still a little tank flank here. That's the remnants of the earlier push. Ganon is... Oh, he is transitioning over into APC. This is APC number 3 of the game. APC! APC! Hey, Tesla Coil being deployed. No match for the power of the V2. And I think he can crush this entire base. He just needs to go for broke and... Oh no. No, Ganon, that's not how you use them. He's using it as a death ball again, and that's not how V2s work. He could have had a way better engagement if he had just held fire with the V2s and then fired onto the incoming forces as soon as they showed themselves. But as it stands, he still has enough left in the tank. Yes. Down goes the Conyard. But not before Orb has deployed all of his economy. So if Ganon is quick enough in his reactions, he can snipe this, can snipe the eco lines and plunge him back into the Stone Age again. He also has another push, probably going for the harvesters. Wow. That's like the Locust Swarm technique. Orb does that all the time, where it just moves into one location with a big ore patch, harvests it all the way out, and it's always do or die, because if your opponent scouts it, he's going to send a couple heavy tanks over and kill everything. But if your opponent is not aware of the situation, then it's going to give you such a big income spike. But we've got 7 yucks in the air. 6. 6, my mistake, but that's enough. More than enough. The twin guns just shredding the Conyard. And I think he can get the Raider Dome as well. Yes, maybe. Yes, excellent. Give in to the hate. He should be a bit more active here. This V2 launcher could have dislodged all the refineries by now. But it's all good. Because I'm sensing a strong comeback here. Especially with the Yak fleet. And it's so hard to come back and build a decent base against a big Yak fleet. Because they just murder buildings. 1 strafe of 6 Yaks is just enough to burst a Conyard in no time flat. And look at how many Conyards Orb has right now. Let's do a little count, shall we? Base count. How many MCVs do we see here? 1. Still 1. The end result is 1. That's a 1 base play. Not by choice, mind you. That was a 1 base play because Ganon is sniped like 3 or 4. Also nice econ grab. Little smash and grab. Yeah, there goes the neighborhood. And if Orb doesn't win with this push outright, he's probably going to take then Ganon's gonna take this game, and we're gonna be left with a game 5, which I really hope for. That's why I'm rooting for Ganon here. Nice little defensive position, pulling back his tanks. Shockies are starting to appear. That's the right answer now. Because there's a lot of low-tech units. Service depot down. Just no contest. Good hustle, good hustle. He's trying to snipe the power as well. Oh! Wow, these harvesters went on a mission. A suicide mission. 3 harvesters dead. How many harvesters is Orb on? 1, 2, 3. Technically 3 because those don't count. It's just 1 harvester. As soon as this Tesla coil is down, it's just easy play for Ganon to dismantle the eco as well. Then Orb is going to be left with nothing but a small army in the middle. Tesla tanks, tier 3, Tesla troopers. Yeah, the Shockies are going to seal the deal. Also, the entire eco line's being raided. 1 harvester remaining on this side. Oh my! 1 harvester technically here. And the war factory under siege. That's it. I don't think the Shockies and Tesla tanks are gonna come into play anymore. This is gonna be end of the line for Orb. And we're gonna be left with a game 5. Awesome. Good stuff. Raidadome down. Conyard down. Yeah. That's not even worth a GG for him. That's just a G. G. So it was a game. And a G in response from Ganon. Reciprocating the G. Alright. Game 5. Hype.
Battle control terminated. Battle control initialized.
Hey people, 5 Aces here, and welcome to the multiverse. This is a version of me from an alternate universe. My name is 7 Aces, and you can recognize me by my different shirt coloring. So what actually happened, this was planned to be a 1-part holiday special that goes for 1.5 hours, but my hard drive got fried midway through, or to be more precise, at the last game. So that sucked big time. That's why I'm now, it's one day later, and I am re-recording the last game, which I was almost halfway through, but I've forgotten most of it anyway because it was a blur. This was an insane game, and we've had a Grenadier opener. Yeah, that's 2 rifles, 2 grants from Orb. Straight into the base of Ganon. Ganon, yeah, cautiously enough, has queued up an attack dog at 95%, and his other dog has been rallied into the main base. He's gonna scout, but there is nothing to scout except a couple of rifles. Gets a salvo for his troubles there. And this is it, the hype train terminates here. Awesome. This is the last match in a crazy best of 5. Which I have vague memories of, because I casted it yesterday. I know what's gonna happen here. I think the first 5 minutes are kind of a foregone conclusion for me. I was really well played by Orb. Just sending in his rifles first, tackling the dog, and even though Ganon is now frantically riling up the dog, what he does is stopping his rifles to fire on the dog. That was brilliant play, and thus immediately disposing of the kennel and the power plant. It almost looks like GG, right? But Ganon pulls his harvester. Still though, this is a terrible situation to be in. Nice micro stutter stepping here by Orb. The dog coming home and finally finishing the job. But it didn't matter because Orb is now super ahead and Ganon is floating but out of power. Utility companies are gonna have a field day here. Map by the way. Oil sands. Pretty awesome. It's got those tiles in the middle, the mud tiles where you can't deploy on, and this looks so deceiving because it looks like this is a base push map, but it isn't at all. Because this is a no-go area both for infantry in the early game due to oil barrels and for MCVs period, because you can't even kill mud tiles, not even with demo trucks. Yeah, there was and I think that's about where the video cut off for me. Yeah, okay. So we're back to life here. That's the mobile flag going toe-to-toe with the armored personal carrier. Obviously, it's a big mobility and line-of-sight advantage, as you can see. And this is just a fake-out. Ganon was floating so hard that he opted for an early vehicle instead of a second harvester, which is absolutely not typical for him. Usually, he straight up goes for like 6 harvesters without a single vehicle. And what happens here is that the APC can never hope to catch the flak, can't even dream of catching it. The flak can just slowly whittle away here. Start the whittling. Because, for one, flux and fire mobility and line of sight, but also they are turreted, unlike the APC, which makes it a bit clunky and awkward, but that's kind of the design intention. It's not supposed to be used as a direct anti-infantry unit. Obviously, its damage is pitiful to anything non-armored. War was a bit... What? Was he sleepwalking there? That Zook shot shouldn't have killed it. If he were a bit more attentive, he could have retained his APC. But you can see how long he can tank the fire of a single flak truck. It's just takes forever to dispose of one of those. So that leaves the power snipe leaves Orb at a nice advantage here because he's gotten an earlier service depot out. He's gotten his 5th harvester online earlier. Well, almost simultaneously, but Ganon is gonna be behind in the MCV timing. So there's that going for Orb. And super good early game so far in this game number 5. Almost looked like he could close it out with a single Grenadier rush, but Ganon being too attentive for that. I don't expect high tier Masters players to lose to a 2 Gren rush. That's something to be left for players who have just started playing online. Anyway, MCV's coming online and I think there's gonna be a nice head start. Well, not that much of a head start anyway. Where did the idle time go? The nice little infantry force for Orb as well, who's now moving out as MCV. On this map hasn't been figured out yet. It's pretty interesting. It's much like shared responsibility. Where do you expand? But in this case, it's you can at least take one expansion that is aggressive, and that's super good because you then cover your base by expanding here. All you need to do is watch out for flanks, and the other, like this double expansion, doesn't yield too much. And you have to place a very risky con yard maybe here. Super easy to get sniped. I really love that Ganon is incorporating flamers again. It has worked miracles for him the first time around. And second time around, let's see. Hopefully for a flame APC, that's one of the things we haven't seen yet. One of the very few things that this series has bereft us so far. It's bereft us off so far. There we go. Big chunk of infantry for Orb. Could easily take this engagement, but Ganon is trying to deploy here probably. Mud Tile is blocking him. Yep, Mud Tile is blocking him there. No. Well, those flamers didn't do their job. That was a bit sloppy. And that's an immediate pullback from Ganon. That already looks bad. He already needs to move back here. His timing has been completely thrown out the window. This expansion is not gonna work out at all. Well... Wow, okay, Orb was having difficulties finishing off the Condyard there, recognizing he can't take the engagement anymore. And thus, Ganon actually victorious in this engagement, surprisingly. That was not the result I would have expected. There is a... No, that's just a regular MCV from Orb. That's his regular expansion MCV. I thought it would be super greedy going for the second expansion MCV, but no. Just a regular one. And he's gonna start littering the map with refineries. Good old Zerg style. Little flank, little dispatch here by ZxGanon. And it's always good just having the heavy tanks. Heavy tanks are so much better than mediums because they murder heavy armor. And guess what auto trucks are? Auto trucks are just snack food for heavy tanks. Just a little... Can I have another one, please? Just a little one. On the go. Okay, son. Here's a harvester for you. I want more, but I want more, Daddy. Yep. Okay, Orb pulling back. I don't think he's gonna get any more trucks. Orb is pulling back just in time. But this is a nasty position to dislodge. He's got numbers advantage. No crushes to be had either. Yikes. And thus, I think the game is equalized here. He lost a single harvester, but it's not a big deal. Nice, Ganon moving in with his infantry first. Made the Tesla coil shot. That's how you win Tesla v Tesla engagements. Ooh, nasty hit on the Conyard as well. Gets him a nasty chunk there. MCV down to 50% health. Orb is so good at patching up his heavy tanks. He's one of those players, one of the only players I see consistently patching up his tanks. And conversely, Ganon is someone who does very much disregard the lives of his tanks. Hashtag tank lives don't matter. Actually, it's OpenRA, so lives don't matter, period. He's going for a little push here. Orb is starting to feel a bit more confident. He's also gotten the V2 unlocked. He's the first to take to Radar Dome. I think that's gonna leave Ganon with the only option to... Like, you've got multiple avenues to pursue when you're going for this. When your opponent is starting to apply the pressure with V2s, but one of the most logical solutions would be to just get your Radadome yourself and try going for Yucks, try going for snipes as well. But he doesn't need to just yet. Nice. Yes, he has scouted this Tesla well. So that's going to be snipe for snipe. And Ganon is going in, the heroic dog. Dying a very unheroic death here. He got a Harvester, that's not too bad. But this engagement is too... No, that's too steep of a curve for him. That's too much for him to take in. And he's gonna lose horribly as soon as Orb starts moving in. Yeah. V2 support as well, just to chunk out the infantry. Here's a flank. Oh, onto the War Factory. Ganon might be in trouble here, in more trouble than expected, because this is his only War Factory so far. And I haven't seen him go for a secondary War Factory yet. He has deployed, he has found himself a nice little niche over here, but he's losing both his tech and his War Factory. That's a pretty big blow already. After a really good early game. Orb just finds the flank. Probably he's trying to go for the Conyard. Okay, here, tank on a chase. Probably gonna get him. Yeah, country roads take me home. That's like the road advantage there. Country roads take me home. What? No! No! He juked out. My goodness, Ganon juked out the tank of Orb. That was sick. That was not supposed to happen. Orb was supposed to have that kill here. Yikes. Rough. Well, that's gonna leave Ganon in an okay position because he still has to retain his Conyard, and that's gonna give him a free expansion here. He would have had to invest another 2k in another like 40 seconds to even get the MCV back online. But as it stands, lucky for Ganon. And a slip of attention for Orb, or both. The heavy tank is moving on to greener pastures, can now find a flank onto the ore truck. That's what I love about high tier OpenRA. It's just so much multitasking going on. While there's an army moving in on the middle, there is a scouting run, there is a tank flank with on an ore truck, and then Ganon frantically deploying his MCV, trying to get his expansion out. There is just a lot of multitasking. Metric ton here. That's what makes high tier OpenRA so exciting. It's not the big engagements with the big clashes, you know, one army versus one army, because we can pretty much, it's a foregone conclusion what happens there. But it's those little plays, those little flanks with just 1 or 2 units that manages to dispatch of a critical harvester or manages to kill an ore truck, kill an MCV. Yeah. But so far, the tech advantage for Orb has paid off big time. His V2s have dislodged so many things. He can't engage into this probably because Ganon can just fortify with as many flame towers as it wishes. Yeah, that's a wall of flame. Wall of flame inbound. But at least one more harvester. On the go. In the pipe. 5/5/5. That's pretty good. Also, Yak advantage is something you can never underestimate in this game. Yak advantage is so big, especially in Soviet versus Soviet mirrors. Fast at scouting unit and also really good at sniping MCVs. Oh, so good. He knows that Ganon is going to move out his MCV, moves in with the Yak, easy snipe, thank you, goodbye, sir. And that just leaves it as a formality. It's just a formality that this base is gonna get slaughtered and dislodged eventually. Big death ball here though for Ganon. Oh, this V2 too likes to live dangerously. There fall the eco-lines. Careful what the grace she goes. Yeah. There's only one refiner left. Good night, Lucy. But there is a big and compact army for Ganon. I want to see these stats right now. I want to see the econ graph. Orb is slightly ahead, but not as much as I thought he would be. Wow. And this engagement, yes, he sniped the refinery, but I think this engagement is going to be handily won by Ganon, who is starting to push back on the map here. Oh, that hit. Starting to make his presence felt though, and this Conyard is, this Conyard needs to book it. Wasting his V2 shot there, unfortunately. Could have been way better. Yeah, MCV is booking it right there, and obviously the APC just has no chasing power whatsoever. That's not what APCs do, not what they're renowned for. Classic Orb tank flank, two tanks into the sidelines, just trying to catch unsuspecting harvesters. And it's really hard to cover for that. Ganon had the same idea, but he's getting 3v1'd, he's getting pincered. Yikes. That looks like a casting couch type of situation there. If you're catching my drift. Oh my goodness, Ganon is rotating his entire army over. That's talk of an overreaction. Go big or go home. He's trying to take his expansion back here. The Yak is gonna give him so much information. Orb is in a good position there. Oh, nice. Clearing out the barrels. It's basically a minefield at that rate. Orb has probably tried to deploy his Kanyard here, which doesn't work. Fuck you, mud tiles. But really, this map is well designed because it has this big no base push zone, which actually makes the map more interesting to play than others because you can freely move about with your army, but not with your base. So you basically have to cross the Rubicon if you want to go for a big play onto your enemy's Kanyard. Now, after this engagement, where does that leave us? Still slightly ahead is Orb. No, just got overtaken by Ganon. So that's the comeback. Is that the comeback we wanted to see? Ooh, Yak for Yak. This Kanyard probably dead on arrival. Yeah, no. Yeah, nah, GG, as a certain gatekeeper would put it. Ha! Oh, the MCV taking such a bad route, but it's escaping on a sliver of health. Jeez. Had no business escaping. So that makes it 1-for-1 in the luck department. Right hand side there's a flank, there's also parabombs coming in. Oh, he's trying to bait Ganon in. Is Ganon gonna fall for it? The Harvesters might fall for it. Harvester AI too strong. Ooh, just barely surviving there. Alright, but at least 2 Harvesters still online. That's a big source of income for Ganon. And there is a push. This push needs to be stopped right there. The Conga Line of Doom. Wow, the Harvester crashes are good. Conga Line of Doom is approaching, but I think the V2 is just Scatter Command. Scatter Command doesn't save you in that situation. Kanyard down. Okay, this might actually be the start of the comeback for Ganon. On the right hand side though, starting to lose a couple. No. My goodness, just pulling back his eco in time. So close. Those clutch plays here. V2 duels. V2 v2. Yeah, and slowly but steadily, Orb has got the better infantry positioning and starting to push back Ganon. There is no rocket soldier left here in this mess. Another top right. Wow, okay, Ganon has managed to sneak another army in. And as per usual, as you can see, his tank's in the red. He just doesn't like repairing tanks, period. But some nice veterans anyway. Big death ball from Orb in the middle. And this is easily getting taken care of. Sorry, my phone is ringing again. God damn it. Talking about timing. It's a matter of timing. Refinery down. And he's got such a big army, Orb that is. But Ganon needs to pull him apart. What he needs to do right now is, yeah, he's scouting, that's nice. And he needs to just find the weak spots. If your opponent has a bigger army, you can pull him apart, because deathballing doesn't work against flanks. What? No way! This one Yak has single-handedly killed the 2 Harvesters here. Not that there was much ore left anyway, but it's still an impressive feature. Still an impressive feat there. Okay, there goes the heavy tank and does the entire army. And we're gonna check the econ tab again. Wow, Ganon is ahead by 5k now. Despite Orb having such a massive army, but guess who else has saved up for a massive army right there? It's it's Ganon's 18th birthday and he always wanted a big infantry blob for his birthday. So his wish got granted to him by the OpenRA gods. Oh, this MCV is getting murdered. Can't even finish the undeploy animation. The top right, base wars. Tug of war, but there is a... Ooh, there used to be V2 advantage for Orb. But yikes, he's going for the Kanyard. If this dies, which it is, well, Orb is at Rare, he's at 1 Kanyard, and that 1 Kanyard is super low. So if Ganon just sends in a single... He has his Yaks. He has his Yaks. If it doesn't idle, and if he doesn't dilly-dally around, he can easily snipe the Kanyard, and that would be the beginning of the end for Orb. That would be a 1 base Orb. Instead Orb is beginning to fortify with defenses here. Oh my god. Ganon, please, you have the V2s. You've got the power, my friend. Ooh, nice chunks. Nice chunks. That would have been his moment with the Yaks, but it was just completely idle. Yeah, Ganon is not renowned for his great Yak rifle. So, to be honest, he's more of a he's more of a deathball style player. And I really love how in OpenRA the game allows for such distinctive tactics that you can actually, just judging by the playstyle, you can find out which of the top tier players is playing right now. You see the big, massive one blob, the one army from Orb, who is always splitting off his flags now. But he likes deathballing. I guess good old StarCraft strategy. Wow, he won the base wars there. That's unfortunate for Ganon. So his timing window has passed. The Konyard has been repaired. It's back up to 50% health. Oh, good flank here with the flags just in time. Intercepting the... I think he knew that the Konyard was going to be targeted. And then put his flags into the flight vector. That was just smart play. This looks like a paradrop to me. A dead paradrop, to be precise. As soon as the rocket soldiers are down, there's just nothing. No redeeming qualities anymore. Ooh. Yikes, there is nothing on this side, so Ganon has to rotate his entire army yet again. And he's fallen behind after a 6k lead. Ganon is now trailing behind simply because he missed his window there. Also missed his window to... Oh! The Parabombs. Parabombs of Legends, the Hail Mary. It's going on. Ukrainian Postal Delivery Services. At your command. Yikes. Even if it didn't kill the entire army, it made Ganon reposition. That in turn gave Orb time to just do whatever the hell he wants with his infantry there. I don't know what the Yak is doing. He likes to live dangerously. This is a very ill-fated tech center. Radar Dome is going down just in time. Okay, has the tech center been scouted? No, it hasn't. Okay. So he's gonna be safe for at least a bit. He's going for a scout. Oh, he sees the tech center though. That's so big. Even if he trades all of his Yaks for this. And it's only 2. That's completely worth it because he has reset the entire tech tree of Ganon. And Ganon now needs to make an executive decision. He's also lost his eco lines here. Does he now stay on tier 1.5? Because I think this game is not gonna last for extremely much longer. Does he stay on tier 1.5 and try to make it work with his 2 V2s and the rest heavy tanks and infantry? Or is he going to tech up yet again? Which the latter is a big risk. If you tech up again and your opponent catches you in this timing window and he's being aggressive while you're just teching up, then you're probably going to lose the game. That was the last of the Yaks. Oh, nice paradrop here. Can at least snack on the harvesters. And riflemen are there. Clean up in Isle 1, there's been a paradrop spill, come on. Finish the job, boys. Oh no! Ha! Gets the harvester in the end. That was a bit of a misplay. But it's nothing too crazy. Yeah, I mean, Ganon is just starting to fall behind, and is he teching? Does he stay or does he go? One more thing I'd like to know. Does he stay or does he go? Right now, it looks like he is... What is he producing? That's a radar dome. Okay, so he's taking back up. This requires... Oh, by the way, the refiner was online all the time. Gave him a nice line of sight bonus there, but finally got dislodged by Orb. Yeah, this is a big problem now, because it seems like, or it appears to be the case, that Orb doesn't want to play positionally. He wants to play aggressively. And playing aggressively in this situation means that Ganon is gonna need time to set up his tech again. Need time to get his tech units to work, which right now it doesn't have, because Orb is flanking him on both sides. That was a crash and a half. Because Orb is closing the sack, he's trying to, to just put some nice barricades up and lock Ganon into his quarter of the map. And the quadrants for making plays are getting very, very small. The window is starting to close for Ganon, despite his fantastic mid-game where he came back. This is the reverse comeback, it seems. Tech Center as well, so he's not only taken up to tier 2, but he went full Monty. He went the full Monty, he went to tier 3. And that means that's what, 3.2k I think, 3.3k invested. And that's not in a mobile army. I really feel like Ganon would have needed the army right now. Yeah, he's starting to trail behind. Not that much. 6k. It isn't as bad as it looks, it's just because Ganon doesn't have that many mobile assets. Which now there are some mobile assets out, if you know what I mean. Those nice pointy glowy orbs. Here's the Tesla tanks. Can he start making it happen on tier 3? Ooh, the crash. Killing the V2 as well. That's some massive armor, that's the Soviet tank hammer. Orb has just prepared for this moment. Orb has saved up a lot of time. And he's now going to unleash the Soviet tank hammer upon the unsuspecting Mr. ZxGanon. Also shock troopers, I think he wants to go for the big infantry killing power, but like infantry stopping power is good and all, but there are so many heavy tanks and he scouted this. Yes, this like this army. Oh! Did he actually kill it with the barrels? I think he did. That's amazing. It's one of the first confirmed tank kills with a barrel that I've ever seen. Well, killed the harvester there, not too bad. And this needs to be it. He needs to be really aggressive. And the Tesla tanks need to be in the backlines. Because they're the ones who just dish out the burst damage from the backlines. I feel that's too much anti-armor. And Orb has rotated some of his infantry up. Yeah, I don't like this engagement for Ganon anymore. He is so scattered. He's just trying to hold his position there. But his Tesla tank micro just not existing. Oh. Non-existent Tesla tank micro. And that is going to loosen the engagement. The tanks are closing in. Nothing you can do against heavies in such numbers when all you have is one Tesla tank. I'm sorry, that's a mismatch here. All the rockets. Ooh. That's the most precious commodity that you can have in OpenRA. It's like the most valuable trading cards. All the rockets. Tesla tanks. I really feel like Ganon isn't using them to their fullest potential. He should just kite them back, but he's instead just moving in. Yeah. Being destroyed by the Yak fleet, being eaten alive there. Tesla tanks are no longer present here. Ganon is starting to lose his scouting as well. Yeah, Ganon is falling apart after this superb mid-game. His Tesla tanks are just too little too late. He can't get critical mass up anymore. Oh, snipe on the Mammoth tank at least. Because critical mass usually just requires you having 2 war factories and your opponent being behind. And right now, neither of these conditions are met, and thus, Orb is able to just push through. Second Tesla tank, but I think the Yaks are going to be rearmed in just a sec. Yeah, here they come. Here they come, and that's 2 dead Tesla tanks if you queues it up right. Also, Mammoth tanks, not that good against the Tesla coil, but they're just in high enough numbers that it might work. Yes! Yeah. This is where Mammoths shine. Just long-range poke at the infantry. It's so counterintuitive that Mammoths, like the heaviest tank in the game, are not only really micro-intensive, but also a soft counter to infantry, of all things. Right, you would expect them to murder armor, but their DPS versus armor isn't that impressive. They're instead really good at shooting at infantry from outside their range. Because the Tusk missiles have like a ridiculous range, I think 7 cells, 7.5 maybe. Flak trucks, good luck buddy. Flak trucks, yeah. Take your time guys. Take your time killing Mammoth tanks. Parabomb onto Tesla coil, why not? I also really think that, oh right, it's Russia versus Ukraine this time around, and you know what that means. The Russia win rate is gonna drop, and win rate for Ukraine is gonna have a little spike here. Yeah, Orb just doesn't need to trade cost effectively anymore. All he needs to do is keep the Tesla tanks down. The walls, by the way, are easily crushed by Mammoths. Crunch, as you can see here. Yeah, I just think bad timing for Ganon. Really bad timing after he elected to go for the double tech. And it immediately got sniped. He should have stuck on tier 1.0. That was his only shot he had. Grenadiers! Who in their right mind builds Grenadiers past the 5-minute mark? Yeah. Good night, Grenadiers. It's nice knowing you. tech center down. And that means a halt to the Tesla tank production. That's gonna put a nice damper onto it. And you can't dislodge the mammoth tanks anymore. Once they're starting to appear in those numbers, it's GG. Yeah, the war factories endlessly spewing forth Soviet steel. And this is probably gonna spell the GG very, very momentarily. You can't stop the mammoths. Once they're out, they're overwhelming you. Eco lines down, and I love the little flank that Orb did there. Just his infantry being sent down south and killing some harvesters. That's just great, great micromanagement. He could have gone all in and pulled them with his main army, but he elected not to, and thus his results were way better. Your results may vary, but Orb's results were amazing there. Just a couple infantry in the back lines. Also sniping ore refinery after ore refinery, and Ganon knows he's against the ropes. He has nothing. Yeah, I was about to talk about the Ukraine pick. In this game, Ukraine has paid big dividends because consider this: it's the only faction in the game that has a power or a faction-specific thing on tier 2 rather than tier 3. That makes a world of difference in those Masters games where every second counts and where taking up is really risky. So I think that Orb has made the right choice there. I think picking Ukraine was a really good choice for the final match, and picking Russia would not have netted him the same results, especially with the engagement here that he won simply by pressing the Parabombs button and being a bit lucky with the RNG. Oh, he scouted the Iron Curtain. Not that it matters. Nope. Yak Fleet is on the ball. Not dropping the ball here is Orb, and ZxGanon is probably out of this tourney after an amazing series. And after clawing his way back into the series from being behind 0-2, clawing his way back into a 2-2, that was an impressive feat indeed. We're waiting for the reinforcements. Also, a little base push starting to happen. Oh, Iron Curtain on the Mammoth tank. And I think Ganon knows what's up. He knows that the bells of doom are ringing for him. Grenadiers! You know you're fucked when your opponent builds Grenadiers intentionally, and it's not a misclick. What a game here. Really back and forth, the asset lead switching over twice. And Ganon had it in the mid game. Then he gave it all away by just taking 2 bad engagements. Plus the Parabombs really helped Orb there not lose his army. That was a fantastic series and fantastic clutch play with the MCVs as well. I highly enjoyed casting this, hope you enjoyed watching it. So all that's left for me for now is wishing you a Merry Christmas, or whatever it is that you're celebrating. And then we're gonna see each other in the new year. I have some casts prepared. One of them is the cast of the secret mod project that is soon going to be added into my casting roster. Be hyped for that, trust me. It's gonna be awesome. Hint, Kirov reporting. It's a third-party mod though. Right. Thank you guys, happy holidays, and see you soon. 5 Aces, out.
Battle control terminated.